Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mark from Solar Games, and today I want to talk about eBay certified or authenticated. So, I purchased a card recently on eBay, and I guess I haven't been buying cards that expensive, or maybe only sealed products. But it's been a while since I bought, I guess, a single on eBay, and I purchased something directly from eBay, and of course, it went through the authentication program, and I've never kind of experienced this yet. I know of it, so but now I guess it's the first time I finally purchased a card that actually qualified for it. So I kind of want to share that experience with everybody on the call or on this video, and just so you understand what this program is like and what the quality and what kind of things you're going to expect. So the program, as far as I can tell, is for any cars over $300. So any cars you purchase that are over $300, they will go through this program. As far as I can tell right now, though, that's free for the seller, meaning the seller doesn't pay extra. I, as the buyer, do not pay any extra. This is effectively only taking out of the eBay seller's fees to do this program. The first thing to note is the way that this works is that the seller would ship the card to a eBay location. eBay would then do the verification and then basically repackage it up as a verified or authenticated, and then ship this over to the buyer. Now, the reason why this helps eBay and the seller, right, why would you want to be part of this program, is because if eBay authenticates the card, it's less likely that this buyer can, for example, seek refund for a fake purchase, etc. So there's definitely benefits with them going through this program. The problem, of course, is given the amount of effort, honestly, that they do this and the extra delay, I wonder how much they would charge eventually for the service and whether buyers or sellers are willing to pay. Because you know how this works. If they charge it directly to the sellers is just going to pass that on directly to the buyer. So the buyers are eventually going to get this cost added to their final sale. So it really doesn't matter, right? But let's go take a look at what this is. So the outer box here is just a straight up box. This is repackaged by eBay's team. And of course, inner, it's a really nice magnetized thing. So your collection is now upgraded, collect, trade, repeat. Okay, whatever. I mean, this is a nice little card album type of thing. And then there's the kind of telling you about the authentication program. Basically, it looks like they work with CGC, CSG, and PSA to do the authentication. I'm sure they kind of go through the process with each one of them, and etc. But otherwise, it comes in a kind of wrapping like this. I guess this is okay. So this is a card saver, not even a hard sleeve from Ultra Pro or anything like that. Yeah. So then here we go. This is the seal, and then of course they put a security stamp on the back here, basically saying, yeah, it's void if damaged. And of course, I'm sure you can scan that to see whatever the eBay item this was. But otherwise, all they're doing here is they're just authenticating, make sure this is a legitimate card. It's not like a fake or anything like that. As far as the actual this thing that they ship you in, it's kind of nice, I guess. It's actually, honestly, I'm quite surprised by how nice this thing is. It's way better than I thought it would be. Does it? Oh, look at that. And it doubles as a stand. So if you kind of reversed it, do it, I guess you have to clip it back in, but it doubles as a kind of like a cart stand. So you can stand it up, and basically display it if you want. So there's that option. Obviously for me, I don't really need an authentication program or authenticity program. But I just, I'm kind of part of it though. So there's not much I can do. Here's the fun part. You see this? Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was gonna say, is there a way that they can make sure that this thing is obvious that it's voided? So here's the thing. This security stamp has void on the back. So if you were to rip it off, I think it does not stick back on. That's right. So the sticky part is this. And so it separates the two pieces. And I mean, you can kind of put it back and people wouldn't really be able to tell. So you see this? This is kind of a problem, right? So I took this security stamp off. I mean, I can't really do much with it now. But technically, couldn't I just put it back? So here's an example. What if I do this? I mean, okay, ignore this corner I ripped, obviously, from ripping this. But what if I just put this back exactly the way I found it? I mean, I could do this under a microscope, but if I could do this like this, I mean, that looks pretty good. I mean, right? Minus, again, this corner is where I ripped it off, but like if I'm a little bit more careful with this, this is not good, because this actually makes it, so this little security stamp, it doesn't do anything because I can put it back. It should be one of those security stamps that rips off, like it just completely comes off, it gets ripped. This is not good, guys. Technically, there could be shadiness happening here, because there's no way for, like, if you again, other than the corner, if you're new to this thing, you open it, you're like, oh, it's voided, whatever, but you wouldn't really be able to tell that it's ripped off already. So this is really bad. But let's take a look at the card that I purchased. So obviously, let's not make a video that's just about the authentication program. I don't like these cases, by the way. Okay, so good. So these guys at eBay are double sleeving. Yeah, so they know, or I guess CGC or whoever. And they're using a big outer sleeve and a smaller inner. But otherwise, yeah, this is a very nice looking card. Honestly, this is yeah, pretty good. Honestly, this is overall pretty nice looking. Good corners, no issues. Let's take a look at the back. I mean, that little whiting, I'm not sure what that whiting's from. Hopefully that's not from them authenticating the card, but whatever. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to grade this thing anyways, but pretty good looking card overall. So there you have it. That's kind of like the authentication program. I have some fears for the longevity of this thing though. So there's a couple ways they can go about this, right? If this is to reduce the amount of like potential customer issues or seller issues, whatever, then I get it. But is it worth the amount of effort, time, money that they're putting into this? Because here's another thing. This package that they ship back to you, that's priority. So they're shipping a priority item to me. And priority, I mean, let's assume a reduced cost, obviously, from eBay. Priority is still going to cost them around like what, like $5, $6 minimum. So they're shipping priority package to me, and they're getting that directly from the buyer. So the buyer's already paying shipping once. Let's say it's free shipping, assuming. And then eBay is going to add priority, so $5 extra. That's just, again, face value with no markup. Then they're going to do the authentication service. So I'm sure, like, you know, whoever, PSA, they're going to charge what, like probably $5. Let's say they do bulk authenticating or whatever, $5. So that's $10 added extra, not including this little card album thing here. Let's say this is $1 or whatever, you know, production value type of thing, plus the box it cost them. So this is $11 worth of service, again, with no markup. So if you sell a card for, let's say, $300 and eBay rips out a $30, let's say $35 fee, they're spending a third of that just for this service. This seems unsustainable long term. Like, either they're going to start charging this buyers or sellers like either 50-50. So each one of us will have to pay, let's say, $6.50 or something. And very likely it's going to be more than that, because they're going to mark it up and say, oh, it's a service provided to you, so you don't have to worry about authenticity and all that, you know, jazz. So I think this program, if it's free, I'm fine with it. You know, it's just added extra security for the buyer, for the seller, especially for buyers who don't know what they're buying. This could be a really good program where they could make sure that these, you know, bad products aren't on their platform. My only issue, of course, is long-term, I don't think it's going to stay free. And I mean, I guess the other issue is like minor, but it adds a couple days to the shipping. But I don't think a lot of people care about that if you know you're going to get a real card. So my overall review on the eBay authenticity program, that now that I've experienced it, I think it's actually pretty good. But my only concern is I don't think it's going to stay free. I think that they're going to have to start charging for this for sure. So there's that. Anyways, Mark Solo Games, I'm more excited about this card. This card, I think I paid like around 300 something. And for those people who know what this card is, it's worth quite a bit more than that now. So there's that. Anyways, Mark Solo Games, I will see you later. Stay classy.